Hello there guys, for today's video, I'm going to show you how to add bokeh effect to your photos in Photoshop. And also we will dive deeper into duplicating of layers, using select subject, applying select and mask for refinement, using fill, and using tilt shift for blurring the background and adjusting its options for the bokeh effect. So let's get started. So here in our document, I got here an image of this Asian woman. And our goal here is to add a bokeh effect on its background. So the first step we're going to do here is we're going to duplicate a layer. To do that, go into the Layers panel, selected on the background layer. I'm going to press Ctrl plus J to duplicate the layer. And then I'm going to rename this layer as our subject. Once done, the next step we're going to do here is we're going to create a selection on our subject. So to do that, selected on the subject layer, we are going to the menu bar up here and then choose select and then choose subject. Once we click that, Photoshop will automatically create a selection on our subject. And there you go. And you will notice here that the selection is not that quite perfect. So just like on this area, this wasn't selected. Also on the hair. Alright, so we're gonna fix on that. For this simple selection, we can just use the quick selection tool for now. So going in the toolbar, click on this symbol here. This is the quick selection tool. First, second, third, fourth. If you can't find that, go to the fourth tool, right click on that, and then choose the second one, quick selection tool. Okay, and now make sure in the options it's on the plus sign. Make sure this one is click, and then we can now start adding more selections. Okay. If the brush size is too small, we can just use the shortcut key to increase the size by pressing closed bracket key. And there you go. Now I may now start clicking on this area. Right, see? Okay, but also here, there are extra selection. So now to subtract selection or to deselect that, just hold Alt and then click on these areas that you want to remove the selection into. Okay, and there you go. That's how easy it is. All right, but for the hair, we're not gonna make use of a quick selection tool here. And by the way, if you find this video helpful so far, please consider subscribing to help YouTube algorithm show my video to other nerds like us. Well, going back, our next step here is we're going to refine the selection. So just what I've said, we're going to fix on the selection on this woman's hair. So to do that, selected on the subject layer, let's just add a mask for now. Selected on this thumbnail mask, I'm going to click on select and mask. Okay, and then for the view, we're gonna set this one into overlay. Okay, so to show that this red background here. So this one means that the red ones are not on our selection, but the ones that are here or that is revealed here are only the ones that are on our selection. All right, so that's it. Okay, now the next step here is we're going to the toolbar here and then select on this second tool. This is the refining brush. Okay, okay, so we're gonna use this one for the edges. So just like here. So just keep on clicking on those edges. Okay, it's okay if we haven't done this one well, if we haven't made this one perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom this one in. Oops. All right, and this one's here, or haven't selection. So to fix that, I'm going to the brush tool again. Yeah, from the third tool, this one's the brush tool or B. Make sure it's on this additional symbol, and then let's add the selection on this hair. This one is much better for me. All right. Okay, and then let's zoom this one out. Okay, fit screen. Okay, so if we're good with this, let's go down here, and then for the output, layer mask, and then select. Okay, and there go. All right. So now, actually, this one is already our selection here when I try to hide the background. Okay. And then after that, I'm going to hold Control and click on this thumbnail mask for us to see the selection that we just created, right? And the next step we're going to do here, going on the select in the menu bar, click on that. Let's go to modify and then expand. And then this will pop up for the expand by. Set this one to 20 and then select. Okay, you can see we just expand on the selection over there, right? And the next step we're going to do here, we're going to create another layer. But before we do that, we're going to first deselect this one. To do that, just press Ctrl plus D. And you can see the selection is gone. Now, we're going to create a duplicate layer of our background. So click on that layer, background layer, press Ctrl plus J. Now we already create a duplication. And now we're going to rename this one as the bokeh effect. Okay. All right. So yes, you just heard it. This layer is where the bokeh effect will be applied. So now, before we do that, we're going to first remove our subject on the bokeh effect. Okay. So I'm going to first hide this subject layer. So just click on that. And then click on the bokeh effect. Let's bring out the selection first by pressing Control and then click on this thumbnail here. Now you can see the selection is out again. And then, well, still selected on that bokeh effect, now we are going on the edit, go to fill, and this fill dialog box will appear. Make sure for the contents, it's in content aware. Mode is normal, opacity is 100, and then select OK. Now it will automatically remove our subject in this layer. Alright, there you go. Now this one is good. So we don't need to make this one perfect, okay? Because on this layer, we're good. This is the part we're gonna add the blur effect. And then once it's done, now I'm gonna bring back this layer back. Okay, so I'm going to just click this one. Alright, now it's back. Okay, the next step we're gonna do here is we're going to convert the bokeh effect layer into a smart object. So to do that, just click on that, right click on it, and then press Convert to Smart Object. And there you go. The next step here is we're now going to apply the bokeh effect here. So to do that, select it on this layer. By the way, let's just deselect this one first. So press Ctrl plus D to remove the selection. Okay, so again, let's go back there. Click on the bokeh effect. Now let's go to Filter. Click on that. And then choose Blur Gallery. And then under that, click Tilt Shift. Alright, so once we click that, you will see that on the effect, you can see there the bokeh options, like for the light bokeh and bokeh colors. Later on, we're going to fix on that. But first, let's put on the blur effect. So to do that, we can adjust this one. We can just increase the number here for the blur effect. Okay, so see what happens. But you can see inside these lines here, the blur is not effective, right? Okay, but on the outer side of that, it's getting blurry. Okay, but also when we increase the amount of blur there, it also increases on this right side. See? The next step here, I'm going to bring down this one over here because we don't need the ground to be blurry. Okay, it's just only on the background. Okay, so for the blur effect, we can just adjust this one to around 100. Okay, we can still go back here later on. Okay, but here in the effect under it, for the bokeh options, for the light bokeh, let's adjust this one. Okay, so for the light, we'll increase the ranges, okay, and the brightness. You see? So I'm just going to put it to around 41. I'm good with this. And for the bokeh color, look, if I increase that, you can see all the colors are increasing. Amazing, right? So I'm just gonna set this one to around 50. This one is good. So we're gonna mix and match on this. So we can just play around on this part. So for the blur, I'm going to decrease that, or I can increase that more. Okay, and for the bokeh light, I don't like this one too bright, so I'm going to lessen the light bokeh. So that's it. And once you're done, just don't forget to select OK up here. And there you go. Alright. So I may now show you the before and after. So I'm gonna hide this layer here. So this one is the before, and this one is the after. And that is how to add bokeh effect in Photoshop.